Steve?
You can't hear anything.
It's live, it's just not showing on the screen.
The only option is to turn the heat off.
We're having coffee.
Huh? Okay. Alexis, would you like to give the parks and community, excuse me, we're conducting business, not you, honey. I'm just, the talking is hard to hear anyway.
We have to,
We have to be able to hear. Thank you.
for the park board, we got, T-ball signups going on. So those will close March 1st. You can sign up online, or there's a paper form. We'll have a work day, probably sometime into March, if you're interested in volunteering. We are waiting on feedback from the DNR for our 5-year master plan that we submitted, and when they submit back with feedback, we'll have a public meeting where everyone can see it and read it, give your feedback before we submit it again. We're looking at and applying for grants for the large mud bog area, and that's based on the feedback from the surveys we sent out for the 5-year plan. One of the biggest responses we got was to continue paving the walking path, and so we do have some money for that. So when spring hits, we will continue paving that. We are waiting on soccer to give us an update. We have not been able to get them to respond to us or renew their lease. Bingo, that's the most exciting thing. We have secured our gaming license from the state. Our bingo machine's been certified, and we will have our first event here March 13th. Bingo, pull tabs, and a half pot. We're looking for sponsors. It's pretty expensive. We go in the hole like $4,000 to $6,000 just to get that going. So we've got a couple sponsors just to sponsor like the pots for each game. The first night we'll have 14 bingo games. So looking for people or organizations to donate like $50 or $100 for each game for the pot. We meet the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. here. Winslow Community Center, we're still selling the walking fobs for seniors 65 and older that are Winslow residents. And you can contact me or on our Facebook page, message that, and I can also get you the information from there. Rentals are up, which is good and bad, because I handle all the rentals. So if you do contact about a rental and then you don't hear back within 24 hours, just contact again. We did get some new electrical stuff. We got a new switch for the gym so that if you used it, you had to get in the fuse box and flip breakers. So we now have some new electrical with just switches. And we got some new outside lights, so it's not so dark back here now. Our new small banquet room next door is just about finished with that remodel. We received $10,000 from the Pike County Community Foundation to do that. And then we have new tables and chairs coming for that, like round ones like these that are black. We just met, we have a big list of things for 2026 I won't go over. And we set quarterly meetings for that, and they'll be posted soon, as well as some new rental information for both of these rooms and the gym. We're gonna have some new, I think we're going to increase just $25 with our new room being newly renovated, and then this one's booked out like the next couple months, at least Saturday and Sunday, and then into May for graduations and things. So any questions for Parks and Rec or the community center?
When you said meeting work, are we in the public environment?
The community center or the?
Yeah.
The community center, we just meet quarterly, and we just set them, and I don't have them in front of me, but I'm going to post them on our Facebook page. Our next one's not until, I think, in March. And we set them the same night as the park board. The park board meets every month, but the community center will just be quarterly. but they'll be on Wednesday as well. So if you want to attend the community center and then the park board, the community center will be like 5:30 and then the park board will be at 7. Any other questions? Thanks.
Animal control, Bill?
Since our last meeting, I've had 17 calls. Most of it's been because kids have been home and they've opened the doors up to see what's going on. The dog floats on them and takes off. So may take an hour or two to catch up with them, but I've been just taking them back because it's been calling me quick. 2 of those calls and runs have been through 911 dispatch. You probably already know the 2 I'm talking about. So Steve was involved on both of those. So besides that, that's been about it.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna move on to old business. We're gonna start with an update on the water tower. We have with us Avery Dyer. Avery is our contracted water operator. Hit it.
So I made a few points to make about the tower. Just figure I'd tell the public and board at the same time the points I got to make. So the first and most important one to me being the risk of the chlorine flowing back into town as they're disinfected. Because before you can fill the tower up with water, you have to disinfect it, which makes sense. So you dump the chlorine, a bunch of chlorine in the bottom of the tower, and you fill it up with water. As you do that, eventually you're gonna hit a point in the tower where the pressure's gonna build up and do exactly what it's supposed to do and push that water back out in the system. I mean, Cody almost did it, and I thought, man, I don't like this. If it goes good, everything's fine. But if that does happen, that's a pretty catastrophic event. You know, you're pushing a ton of chlorine into town, and it just takes one kid or elderly person or somebody in the shower to be pretty seriously hurt, you know? So there's ways around it, but it's gonna be an expensive thing, because I would want engineers in there to make sure it's done safely and everybody is safe in the process. So that's my biggest point to make. And then also, it's not technically needed. How many years has it been now that the tower hasn't been in service?
2.
Okay, so it's not been super long, but we've been with the state, we've talked to them, and it's not technically needed because you guys have 2 sources of water, one from Pike Gibson, one from Petersburg. So you guys always have water no matter what. And then they can still pull like if there's a fire, the fire trucks can still pull off the line because they're not pulling from it. I spoke to Brandon Truitt, he said they just use the hydrants to fill the trucks. So you're not gonna get collapse lines or anything crazy like that. And in the event that one of them didn't work or anything, what we're thinking is put a dry hydrant on the river so that if they absolutely have to have water they cannot get from a hydrant, well, a hydrant doesn't work, they'll always have backup water from somewhere at least.
If I may ask you a quick question about that. What would having the tower increase, would it have anything to do with increasing water pressure?
Well, that's coming up. I don't think so, but I don't think that is coming up.
Because my water pressure, I measured it last spring and it was at 40.
Okay,
40 is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's terrible.
yeah. That's what
It should be a minimum.
Well, I got some points about that, and I guess we'll get right into that. So
Okay.
the tower's way too big, honestly, for the size of the town. It's 279,000 gallons, correct?
87.
287?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys use on average like 45,000 gallons a day. So that's like 6.2 days worth of water in that tower, okay? So you don't put that much water in it at once, because if you do in the summertime, you got stagnant water sitting, it's just gonna get nasty. You can't do that. So you fill it up like 1 day's worth of water at a time. Well, so now your tower's only 1/6 of the way full. So I don't think you'd have any better pressure at all. I don't know. I've never been here when it was in service. I don't know, but I certainly don't think so. If it's only 1/6 of the way full and that's all your water down, I don't think you'd have any
At
pressure.
65 feet, you get 25 PSI across the street.
I don't know how tall the tower is. You got,
85 feet,
okay. So you said, how much was that, 25 PSI?
25 PSI across the street at 65 feet.
So it probably, I don't think it would make it any better at all. With it being only 1/6 of the way full, I don't think. But
It wouldn't, it'd be worse.
that's exactly what I thought.
You can't go below 65,
It's
you
hard
have
to
to
know,
maintain
it's
that
hard to think about
pressure.
it being much worse, but I think it would be, so. That's the next,
Mine just can't handle any more than what we're pushing it now.
that's a good point too. If you did fill it up all the way, I don't know what that much pressure would even do. Probably nothing good.
Probably been like the last time we changed stuff up.
Yeah, probably so, unfortunately. So I don't think you guys would have any better water pressure. It's unnecessary. There's a huge risk that comes with disinfecting it. And finally, I just think it would cost more to build the tower, bring the maintenance and everything that's involved with it than it would to just cut your losses and disconnect it. But that's just that's all the points I had, so. Anybody got any questions?
This is just an idea, but is there any way, it's probably gonna be expensive, but fabricators could maybe come in and put something inside the tower, keep the level at the top, keep the wire at the top, instead of all that volume in there, and they could fabricate some kind of chute up, and then
Sure.
close off the tower and only have the top third of the tower filled.
Yeah,
That
so
would
they,
keep the pressure, and then we would use all the water in the tower.
They-
So, I
they
mean, that's
have
an
it,
option,
yeah.
it'd be expensive.
they do have an elevation valve like that, and like, I think it's installed just to keep it at the pressure necessary. I don't know what would go into that exactly, but it is
It'd
an
be a lot
idea.
of steel.
Yeah, it'd be
A lot
like,
of
yeah.
steel and a lot of welding.
And my thing is, if it's not necessary, I don't know how worth it.
Right.
So
Exactly, if it's not worth it, if you could
Yeah.
just put it up in the river and then pull it off the river.
they don't like you to not have a tower, and,
Right.
and I totally get that, but I mean, the alternative is like a lot of money that I don't really spend.
Yeah, either way, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's my points. Any other questions?
Thank you, Avery.
Yep. Anything else needed from me?
Nope.
All right, y'all have a great night.
I will add on to what Avery had to say. There's been some conflicting information that we were getting from IDEM on if we had to have it or not. I would be told yes, and then they'd make a comment to Avery, no. So we put Avery as our main contact with IDEM from now on, so there's no confusion, unless they have a particular question for the council. So with that,
And we did have her come in and
Yes.
clarify that with
Yes.
committees,
so we should be good to go with the report that Avery gave us. Thank you, Avery. Next on old business is the water project update, and that's timely since we just our water tower update. There is been no movement on funding possibilities for a water project. We were denied by SRF for low-interest loans. We were told that it's because competition is so high right now in the state for funds to do infrastructure. Most of the funding went to towns that were having issues with lead pipes. We did not have that issue, so we get nothing. So we are continuing to seek other avenues. Until then, we carry on as we are. We do the best we can with pipes that are in the ground, and when we have a leak, we fix it.
Hey, John,
Yes, sir.
what, in a situation like that, how far up that chain did this go? Did this go to whoever was approving, or my question is, why isn't this thing going all the way to governor? I'd take it straight, I'd go all the way up.
It has.
It has?
Yes,
Governor said, okay,
yes. We go, there's only so many dollars for the whole state,
right.
and, plus, at the rate that we're at, we also found out a couple months ago when we talked about getting a bond to finish some things off at the current rates, and I know nobody will believe this, but I'd be glad to show you the math. At our current water and sewer rates, they're not high enough to pay back any loans. So that's another reason you can't get a loan if you can't pay it back. So we're kind of in a cycle that we need to figure out some cost cuttings and see what happens. Yes, ma'am?
I'm wondering, what, with the water rates that we've got now, where is that extra money that you're making off the raises of the water? Where's that money going?
There is not extra money. The raises that we had in the last rate increase, and this was, we shared all this information, was to get us to break even. It was not to get ahead. There had not been a rate increase in 12 years in town. And all the costs of supplies and, our water increased from Pike Gibson, where we get our water, but we didn't pass that on for 12
I
years.
was understood that Mike Gibson did not raise the rates.
That's not correct.
They raised it three
They were,
times.
yeah, they raised them
3 times at least.
at least 3 times since we've been in office. So that is not correct. And I do have all that. I don't have it on me, but I certainly have that where I could share it with you.
Plus cost of everything else went up. All of our inputs for pipe and whatever else that when we have to fix stuff has gone up tremendously. And fuel,
There were some large leaks at the beginning of our term on Main Street
and before.
that cost quite a bit to fix. And anytime there's a leak, that's literally money down the drain. It's water down the drain, but it's water that Pike Gibson is supplying to us. We still have to pay them for it. It's not, we live here too, you know, we pay the bills, we pay the water bills, we pay the same rate that you guys do. We don't want to have to raise again. So we're trying hard to figure out what we can do to not have to do that. But, I mean,
Well, the problem with raising the rates and stuff is nobody's gonna wanna move in here. No business is gonna wanna move in here
yes,
because of the water rates.
and that's the same as many small towns in Indiana right now. It's not just Winslow. You know, several of them have had rate increases recently because they can't sustain either. And I mean, it's understandable and we're doing what we can. Thank you. On to the wastewater project. Oh, and just while I'm thinking about it, for the drinking water alone, our engineering report showed a need for our project of 4.5 million for drinking water alone. That would be replacing the tower, which we could or could not do, but the tower was maybe half of that. So you're still looking at a couple $2 million just to update the pipes and get where we need to be. On the wastewater project, our engineering firm that was hired to do our engineering report for the wastewater, BS Engineering, they're almost done with the new engineering report. And once they're finished, they will come present to the town in a public hearing for everybody to hear what they have to say that they discovered. Preliminary costs show well over 10 million for wastewater. When you add the wastewater and the water together, we're looking at $15 million in funding that we need to try to find. The longer these things go on, the more costs go up. We're aware of that. And we're seeking all we can to try to get these taken care of. With the wastewater, we are under an agreed order with IDEM that we've been under since 2017. They've been pleased with the minutia that we've had here in town, some of the improvements we've been able to do with what we have. But in the end, they still want to see everything fixed. We had the engineering firm hired somebody to come in with, not a drone, but a camera that goes through the sewer lines. We were hoping that by doing that, they would see that things were better than we thought they were, but that is not what they saw. It is not as good as we hoped. So we're trying to come up with funding to finish the rest of the town. We only did a portion of town with the video. We got to come up with funding to pay to have the rest of it done so that we get a really better idea of the situation and what we're asking for money for the sewer. Once all that's done, like I said, the engineering firm will come and present. I encourage everybody to come and listen to what they have to say about the infrastructure and what's going to be needed to get it fixed. And they will suggest to us different funding options, and we will listen to what they have to say and apply for everything we can apply for. Does anybody have any questions about drinking water or wastewater projects? Tina? No, I'm kidding.
That was the only year.
Anybody? All right, thank you. Next on old business is the town hall HVAC. I'll just give a little background for those of you who aren't aware. The town hall has 3 units, HVAC units that are on the roof. 2 of them are dead. The 3rd one died, but they were able to find a piece to get it up and running. But the longer we go with just 1 unit out of 3 working, the faster it's gonna die. So we have been working for several months now on quotes, and we're able to work out some details with cooperative purchasing contract. And we did award the job to somebody, and they have, I'll let Tara go now, I'll shut up.
So I spoke with Jared this afternoon. He did say all of the parts are in. They're in Evansville, so he can go get them whenever. Obviously, he has to wait for all the snow to melt off the roof, and then he's going to get with the crane and schedule that, and then we're ready to go. So we were finally able to reach our Omnia rep. And I think it's like Jared and then his contractor, and then like they have to speak with the Omnia people. So there's just a lot of different avenues we had to address before we could make the right connections. But so it's not scheduled, but he knows that we're ready once all the snow and everything clears.
Tara, who was it awarded to?
Radio.
Does council have any questions for Tara?
Fiberglass tanks. And then we were supposed to get a list.
There's Kelly said there wasn't anything.
Was there nothing else to sell?
The fiberglass one or the other one?
No, the other
The other one, yeah. So we just need to get good clarity. We need to get it. I'm making note of that. I have pictures. Okay. On to new business. First on the list is a new year, so we need to have election of the 2026 officers for the town council, which would be president and vice president.
You want that on one more phone or?
2. So we'll open it up for motions for president.
Second.
A motion and a second for Tony Stafford for president. All in favor? Any opposed? Thanks. Now for vice president.
A motion for Alexis. Say it wrong.
I have a motion on the floor for Alexis to continue as VP.
Second.
And a second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. We also need to do our appointment of Region 15 representative. The Indiana Region 15 Planning Commission is what Winslow and Pike County is a part of, and we appoint somebody from the council every year to represent us there. What Region 15 does is they help find grant money. They've been working with us a lot on our comprehensive plan grants that we've applied for. So we need to nominate an appointee for the Region 15.
Make a motion to appoint Tony Stafford as Region 15 representative.
Have a motion and a second for me to continue being that representative. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next on new business says water bills. Krista?
So, and this is really for question.
Okay.
How, when the water bills are printed, are we looking at them to look at consumption?
Yeah.
Then, if we say that, if someone gets a 0 consumption water bill, how does that go out?
Well, if they have an open account, they have to pay for the service. If they don't close it, then they continue to get billed. It's their responsibility to close it.
You're saying there's somebody that got a $0 consumption that's.
And they were gonna be coming in these holidays. If we're looking at those water bills every month. to make sure
Do you know who it was?
Why have to go back on that?
Okay. I mean, we always look at them. If there's a zero consumption, we had one. I think we went and looked at the meter was actually broken. But for the most part, if it's zero, it's because they haven't used the water, or they were turned off, but they haven't closed their account, like shut off because they didn't pay their bill, but they haven't come and like closed the account.
And then if there's too high of a consumption,
We send them out to do data logs. We send out leak letters, like we think you have a leak. If we know about it beforehand, because the customer catches it, we will go and shut them off until they tell us to go ahead and turn it back on. But that's what we do. Usually it's about 4 or 5 days before we print the bills, and then we send them out. So we always double check them, make sure, that there's nothing wrong with the meter, and make sure the customer knows that we believe they might have a leak.
I will send you that person.
Okay.
Is that all? Thank you. Next is 2025 encumbrances, resolution 2026-01.
This is from our 2025 funds that we had allocated for the HVAC. Since we had a PO already made, we can encumber the funds. So I'll read it. Resolution 2026-01, encumbrance of 2025 funds. Be it resolved by the Town Council of Winslow, Indiana, that the following 2025 encumbrances be forwarded to the 2026 budget. CCD, $10,000, and edit, $8,993.51. Be it resolved at the Town of Winslow, Indiana, this 29th day of January 2026. Mhm. This covers all but about like 10,000 of it.
And that was on this year's.
So the 10,000.
From the sale of the
Yes.
county. Any other questions?
So I just need a motion in a second.
Hearing none, do I have a motion to accept this resolution?
Make a motion.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Next on the list is Kurt Nord's resignation. Kurt has been on sick leave for a while from the town and has moved on, and we lack a letter of resignation, but, it was understood with Kurt, we covered it with him that, so many days of no call, no show means that you're voluntarily resigning, and it's been several months. So we want to go ahead and get on the books that that's considered Kurt's resignation.
Johnny, what position did he hold?
Full-time laborer.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have 2 seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next on the list says vacant positions to advertise. I'm not sure.
It was listed in the email.
Sorry.
It was for part-time, I can't think what his name is. Cody, what?
No.
Cody, what were we advertising again for you? Because Kurt was leaving.
Part-time labor.
Part-time laborer, yeah.
The idea is to advertise for part-time and with the thought to move up into a full-time
If they work out.
if they work out.
Kara, what are we currently budgeted for?
1 superintendent, 2 full-time, 1 part-time.
And our part-time is not with us right now.
Correct.
So if we hire a part-time, is this going to reduce overtime?
No.
Mm.
Probably not.
We could put him on a week.
weekend if you want to, but you know what I mean?
I would not.
I don't think that would be a good idea.
Yeah,
It's a state
Till we get to
mandated.
know who it is, they can put them in charge of that.
Oh, on the reads.
Yeah.
But we've been understaffed in that department for quite some time. And we spent 3 months with just one person in that department. I make a motion that we advertise for.
How are we understaffed right now? I'm asking what's not getting done to come up with that we would need another person.
But right now, it's not too bad. If we boil the water right or something, I mean, you got 2 people, you know what I mean? That's it.
You're not gonna find them overnight either.
You can't just wait till the water leak comes and then have somebody. I make a motion that we advertise and hire a part-time laborer for the streets and water department.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
This is what we budgeted for this year, right? Yeah. Superintendent. Two full-time or?
2 full-time.
Yeah.
Superintendent, 2 full-time and a part-time
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and so we only have one full-time and
superintendent.
one superintendent. We don't have the part-time or the other full-time.
Part-time, 2 maybe. So, I mean, Cody said they thought they could do with just another part-time person for a while and see how things go. Because we always have the seasonal mowing opportunities too. It's a lesser paid position.
Carl, he's not working at all, just mows.
He's not working right now at all. He's not working. Okay, so we had 4 ayes, any nays?
No.
Any nay, thank you. Motion passes to advertise for that part-time person. Sarah, can you take care of doing that? Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is street sign replacement quotes. What are we replacing?
This is, I think we had,
We talked about
this was given, like right after the last meeting, I believe. I think, did you give us this list? Steve gave us the list of the street signs that are missing. There's like, this total says 69 of them. And then we also have a Winslow Elementary sign that was knocked down not too long ago.
At the school
No.
or a sign that?
It's a sign that like points to the school. The total for that sign by itself is $220.40 because it's a custom sign.
It got knocked.
I think somebody ran over it.
Not salvageable.
No.
It's pretty well bent right now.
Yeah, they're not cheap. So we have 2 quotes. One is $2,822.87. This is with, I believe this one has the guarantee that they, like all the spelling and everything is correct. The second, it has something to do with like the quality or whatever.
$2,800.
$22 and then 87 cents. And then the second quote is $2,414.47.
But there's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee of.
And that's for all the ones that are missing.
That one doesn't include the Winslow sign.
No,
No.
so that's another $220.
Yes.
What about?
Are we talking like informational warning?
No.
No, like the street name
Street
signs.
Street names,
Regular street names.
like North Street. or-
Yeah.
The spelling and everything is, yeah.
There's actually a grant that I think we can apply for these.
Okay.
So we're gonna wait, it's due in March, so that's kind of right around the corner. How long do you think these have been missing?
Probably since before gay heart was down there.
Okay,
Dave,
so we
did you
can
take
wait,
them?
we can wait another month. They'll have a whole wall covered with. Yeah.
So it's not gonna hurt us to wait a few months and try to get grant money to cover it? Because,
Yeah, it's in March, so.
yeah, we were made aware of a grant opportunity through the AARP. And this would be something that people over 50 need, signs to tell them.
Easy.
Gotta know where to go.
Easy.
Well. Okay, so,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Alexis and I will work together on that grant application. But we'll need a copy of those quotes, if you can get them.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, next is review salary ordinance for this year. Any questions for Tara on the salary ordinance?
Phone statement. I found in here in the handbook where it does say superintendent, full-time laborers, clerk treasurer, and animal control.
In the handbook?
In the salary thing you sent out to us, not the handbook,
Salary ordinance.
salary ordinance.
Yeah. And that's everybody who has it now, right? Who's getting it?
Yeah.
We get it also.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can we remove that from?
Yeah.
From Gabby's? Okay. So then the ordinance would be correct as written for that.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about. So then who all gets the phone second? Steve, obviously.
Steve gets, no,
Steve.
Steve gets, we pay
Oh,
for
you
his
get
phone.
the phone and your hotspot?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a go. So then we take Cody, superintendent,
Mhm.
Tara, and then do we pay Andrew?
Yes.
They have to be able to communicate while they're doing stuff.
You pay for one.
And the animal
And Bill.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should.
we got 17 phones.
Okay.
And that was, doing the stipend that way was a lot less expensive than providing phones for everybody who had issues with.
Yeah, because we had originally gone through AT&T and the phones didn't work.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
and we've been back and forth with this for.
hmm We did switch Steve to Verizon a couple months ago, and I think it's working significantly better.
Even
So,
better, Steve, you're, okay.
I have a question for the salary ordinance. Section 4, it says the attorney is paid $5,000. I know when the first year I was here, we did a $5,000 retainer, but we have not been doing that recently. So if we're gonna just pay it as we go, I just need to know if we take it out.
I think we should just take it.
Probably soon.
That was because at the time a newer
Yeah.
relationship.
Okay.
But I think it's fine to take that out. His rates won't change, but. Clothing allowance, somebody have a question on that?
What is I can't find it
Section 13.
at this moment.
It's 300 a year, we pay on July
July 1st.
1st. And it's just the street department,
Full-time.
right? Full-time.
Full-time street department?
Yes.
Yeah, clothing and equipment for each full-time street, water, wastewater employees payable.
Steve, too.
Health,
No, he has his own
allowance
uniforms.
for each year of employment. Clothing allowance, chest and weight allowance for each year.
And that's in lieu of, uniforms.
I think the question was 300 for each year of employment. So does that mean in your first year you get 300?
No.
the second
No.
year?
No, like every year, it's an annual $300.
Ambiguous.
Yeah.
I think you have all this for employee. roughly
Yes.
that time, after the first year. I think.
After 90 days is what we've done.
Well, one pair of work boots is well more than $300 anyway.
Any questions? Any other questions on the salary ordinance?
Do we need to approve it or? motion?
What do you need
We need
to
to
do?
do. If we're gonna approve it, then.
Well, the pay is just the range in the ordinance.
Yeah.
It's not what we're actually paying them. Well, you know what I mean.
Well, the range,
The ranges we had already during budget time talked about and approved.
oh yeah, we did, so then we'll go up.
No, not until budget time this coming year.
The actual,
So everything that I had on that spreadsheet is the highest that it'll go, which should already be reflected in here. Yeah.
Are we ever gonna hire a deputy marshal or
well,
do we take that out?
I
or-
took it out for this year. Because when we talked during budget season, I think we said if we were gonna do any like extra help, we would seek out like a reserve officer, not a full, like an actual employed deputy.
and that was a conversation we had with Steve during his performance review last week. There is a person that has been reserved for us before who Steve said he reaches out to him quite often, wanting some. You okay?
Hours.
Wanting some hours. So that's, Chris and I encouraged Steve to reach out to him and see if he can't get him in here on some weekends to help out.
Did you get a hold of him?
All right.
Okay.
Steve, did you ever get your computers and all that stuff squared up? All that equipment and stuff?
All right, so you took it out last year. We'll leave it out. Any other questions?
Do you wanna approve it or make a motion to approve as amended? The salary ordinance along with the clothing allowance and the phone stipends.
A motion on the floor.
How much is each person, how many people are actually getting a raise here?
We're not talking about raises right now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, town vet update, Amy?
I have been searching to find someone to be our vet when we have a situation at the cat shelter, or if we had something come up where we find a dog on the side of the road that's hurt and we don't know what to do, we gotta do something right away. So I finally found someone to do that. It's Victor Shelton from Comeback Veterinary Clinic in Washington. It's right there, 257 and 50. Anyway, he's came and visited our cat shelter earlier this month. So, and I think Krista was happy with him and
That we
everything
don't-
went well.
We don't have rates yet.
We don't have rates yet.
Okay,
We will get rates.
okay. So that's the update. And Krista, of course, always has the option to continue to see the vet that she does and the low cost spay and neuter clinic.
And we do
all that.
whatever we can to cut costs
Yes.
of the cat shelter stuff too, but we needed somebody just to have.
Yeah.
Because we have to have it according to, we have to have someone over the shelter, so to speak, to be legal.
Yeah.
So we're trying to cover our bases on that.
So we'll get, hope to have rates by the next meeting.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
talk to them.
Thank you, Amy.
Okay, next up,
Next up is hourly employee raises. We'll go down the list. First on the list is Steve Nelson. Chris and I did Steve's performance review sometime a week or two ago and went through everything with Steve. His computer is up and running. Still gotta work on getting his printer in his car. But other than that, Steve has met all the things that we had given him that we would like to see. Steve's current wage is $15.41 an hour.
He hasn't had a cost of living for several
The
years.
new range that we gave for Steve in the new ordinance that we just signed was $15.41 an hour to $17 an hour. And that's just the range that we had in the budget. It's been several years since Steve has had a cost of living increase. And, I would like to make a motion that we move Steve to 17 an hour, which is a 10% wage increase, which is higher than normal, but since it's been so many years since Steve has gotten an increase, I feel it's warranted.
You want a motion on every different person?
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion.
Wait a minute.
Oh, we're not done yet.
No, we're gonna vote on each one.
That's what I
So
was gonna do, vote on him.
I made the motion
Oh, you
and
made it.
Alexis seconded
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry.
So, hearing that, all in favor, moving Steve to 17 an hour, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. On to Cody Russell, who is our superintendent. Amy and Jeff, take it.
Okay. Well, first of all, Cody has been the superintendent in training, and he has pretty much been left to learn on his own with just some help from our water and wastewater operators, and he has been doing really well. He's always there, he's dependable, and I would like to make a motion to upgrade him. What is his current rate, Tara?
18 to 20, and he's
That's
currently at
the range.
18.
He's at 19?
He's at 18.
He's at 18.
His range is 18 to 20 an hour, and he's currently at $18 an hour.
So I make a motion to move this to 1950.
What's the percentage on that?
Cost of living would be 50 cents, we get 1850. But he's also was the superintendent in training, he's no longer in training, so that's why I suggested we suggested the $1.50.
He's also in charge of everything that the town, water, sewer, mowing, everything.
So that, Amy, that's your motion?
Yes,
And
it
I'll
is.
second it.
I have a motion and a second. Move Cody to 19.50 an hour.
Well, in his evaluation, was all the overtime from last year addressed? Yes, it was. And this weekend, was it filled out correctly and approved beforehand?
I got it here.
As long as we can address that moving
Yeah.
forward. Because it wasn't in the evaluation.
The majority of the overtime last year, he was the only employee we had for 3 months with Kurt out of the office.
Until we brought Andrew on.
Until we brought Andrew into that department. So most of that was unavoidable. And being the only employee, that would be unavoidable. But we've had conversations about going forward and trying to cut back on overtime all we can. And I'm sure we'll do that.
Could we do 19 instead of 19?
The person that's going to amend the vote, amend the thing,
Yeah,
has to be me. It's already been,
There's always been a motion in a second.
you can't amend it. I say you vote.
Okay. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay. Thank you.
And next up, we have Andrew Forrest. He has stepped up whenever we desperately needed help and started working with Cody. And he's been around for over a year. What is his current rate, Tara? Well,
$14.50
Hang on a second. How long has he been full-time laborer?
since July.
Since July, so it's not been a full year?
No, it's been 6 months.
Okay. Isn't that something we normally do every year?
When we switched him over, we were told to review again in January.
Okay.
So
Sorry, what's current pay?
$14.50.
$14.50? What's the range?
No more than 16.
Can I ask you a question about the stuff?
No, not in the middle now. Not, when we're done. we'll
Oh,
have paper
okay,
concerns.
that's, well,
Okay,
directly.
yes, thank you. No, not right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
cost of living would be at least 50 cents or thereabouts. I was suggesting that we do $1. He's very dependable. He also helps us with tech stuff whenever we need it. He's helped Steve and some other stuff. That's invaluable.
What, I'm sorry, what did you recommend?
I recommended going to $1 an hour more, which would be $15.50.
I would actually, only because this is 6 months into a year instead of a full year.
Okay,
I would rather
just do 50 cents.
the cost of living at the most would become like 40 cents an hour for
43.
standard.
It's actually 43, I think. Cost of living is 2.8%. Okay. So then you're saying 14.50 plus 40. 14.91. Should I make a motion to move Andrew to 14.91?
And then we can, at his year date, we'll go back and look at it again after a year. Any questions? All right, I have a motion, do I have a second? I have a motion and a second, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. All right, on to Gabby, the deputy clerk.
You have a full carry on that one.
We're dealing with Zara.
Amy and I did her evaluation last week. Her last raise was also in July. And before that, she hadn't had one since she started. She's currently at, I think it's $15.50 if I remember correctly. A cost of living is 43 cents.
She's currently at $16.
Oh, she is?
Yeah, she got a raise.
Okay.
14, and we raised her to $16.
Okay.
So that was
We don't have to. They just said hourly employees, so I listed them all. Yeah.
Yeah, I think since it's only been 6 months.
Yeah. We can do hers at the year as well.
All right, so there's everybody there. Next on the list is comprehensive plan. We have applied 3 times for a grant with Okra, state of Indiana, to get a comprehensive plan. And we've been denied 3 times by Indiana in the Okra office. After this last denial, I sat through the feedback session with them last week. That's not gonna happen. So I've been searching for other avenues, which I have found, a grant that we can apply for the comprehensive plan through the Wellborn Foundation, which is a private grant administrating group. I talked to the company that we had originally voted on doing the comprehensive plan, Taylor Sipker Williams Design Group. The original cost for that plan was $50,000 through Okra. That's what they would give. Mr. Sipker said that they would, even though it's not through an Okra grant, that they would honor that cost and would love to work with us. Our previous match was $5,360 that we had approved, that we would have had to pay for the Okra. Recommended that we, if we're going to go for this grant, we would do the same match, that we'd offered to Okra. So I would like for the board to consider going forward with this grant application that's due tomorrow, to the Welborn Foundation to pay for a comprehensive plan. For those of you not aware of what a comprehensive plan is or our status, comprehensive plan is made with the input from the entire town, anybody that would volunteer to sit on that committee. And we do a SWOT analysis. So what's Winslow's strengths, what's their weaknesses, opportunities, and it is all coordinated by the company that would do the comprehensive plan. It was already decided that it's an important thing. A lot of times when grant money comes available and we look at applying, they want to know, first thing they want to know is, do you have a comprehensive plan? And we have one, but it's pretty outdated. They recommend that it be updated. So that's what a comprehensive plan is. It's a lot of meetings with hopefully a lot of public input. It's everybody's town, and we want everybody's input on what they'd like to see and what they feel the weaknesses and strengths are. So that's my story about a comprehensive plan and the grant that I would like for us to go for outside of the Okra one. Any questions from the council?
Make a motion that we go forward as we're going to do with the Okra.
Thank you, Amy. I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Thank you. Water payment arrangements and water leak adjustment procedures.
We took the forms and we condensed them, made them more streamlined. But I just wanted to make the kind of rules and, criteria clear. For a water bill adjustment, this is for if you have a leak or when you fill your pool. You can only have one per year, per calendar year. You can only adjust the sewer portion of the water bill off, and that's obviously only if it's approved. And then data logs will be pulled from the meter to confirm the dates of the leak or the pool being filled. And to me, this is obvious, but it is the customer's responsibility to repair their leaks. And then for a payment arrangement, I just took what they had before and just put it on the paper so that before they sign and, agree to anything, it's right there and they have to read it. 25% of the delinquent balance has to be paid before the arrangement is approved. The arrangement must be made before the day of shutoff, which is the first business day of each month. Payments must be made as specified within the request. If it is missed, services will be discontinued the next business day. And again, only one payment arrangement per calendar year. So I just wanted everyone to be aware and that going forward, these are the forms that we'll use.
Wasn't there something else from the AMP stuff that BS, was there something about not tampering with the meters? There's a fee for that. Am I dreaming?
No.
That's in the water ordinance. That has nothing to do with.
Do these still come to us after they're filled out? We still have to approve or deny them?
No, we took that, unless it's something really big and, we're having a lot of issues or whatever, it's just between our office. Typically, it's only, most of the time, our customers only ask for, a 3 or 4 day extension. That's not worth bogging your emails down over. If it is something that is bigger than that or, someone's really struggling, we will reach out if it's, something we don't feel comfortable making the decision by ourselves.
And if they've already had one for the year that they ask you to, then those might come to us, but, okay. Any questions? Process. All right, thank you, Kara. All right, last on the agenda. And I would like to preface this by saying that this is a government business meeting. Patron concerns will be heard at the end of the meeting. If you've signed in and said that you have a concern that you'd like to give, you're more than welcome to when we're done. Please let us finish our business before that. On to the building at 100 East Center Street. I'm assuming council's wanting to hear an update.
Yes.
Okay, Jeff?
So currently on that building, for those that maybe do not know, it was fully insured. However, the insurance company has denied payment on the loss. I will just tell you, any of you, I would search out your insurance plans and make sure what they say. If it is not listed under perils, they will not cover you, okay? The specific cause of that, I thought about getting a whiteboard and drawing it. There's 3 layers of bricks that held that wall up. The building is 133 years old. There is evidence that over years that the mortar on the holding the inside bricks to the outside bricks has deteriorated, causing all the mortar to fall down inside, which at the bottom it eventually made somewhat of a bulge that is not always noticeable to the eye. When that happened, it caused it to push out and the wall collapsed. No, I did not do any structural alterations to the design of the building. We made some interior walls to divide it that were not tied to the exterior walls or the ceiling in any way. They were a floating wall. As far as an update on it, the cheapest that I have found yet, and I'm still trying to get quotes from other companies, is $65,000 to tear that building down. And here's what I'll tell you. I don't have $65,000 and neither does our church. We would take donations of all kinds if anybody wants to donate. Not my intention to carry insurance for the last 5 years that we've owned it and them to not pay. I hate it as much as you. That building was the cornerstone. It's what we called it. It was the cornerstone of this community. And my ultimate goal was to restore it. But that takes a lot of money. And to be quite honest, every dime that we had extra to put into that building, whether it be from the church or out of my pocket, went into those buildings, every one of the buildings we have. To the point where, to be honest, I don't have any more money. I would love to be able to pay to have it tore down. I'm looking in ways, we've been trying to find grants to help out. We've had people volunteer to help with some equipment, and that is all well and good. And honestly, I truly appreciate that. The issue comes that a couple things, the state fire marshal is the one that's kind of overseeing this to where nobody can be in the buildings. NDOT, obviously, as you all know, is involved. I didn't call any of them because it'd been simpler to not have them involved. But their outlook is on your safety and our safety. But what I know is nobody can help tear that down without NDOT knowing. Because what's going to happen again is when we start demolition on it, the road's going to have to be detoured and shut down and have to go around until it can be demolished because of everybody's safety. To get that permitted will take a phone call and just a very short amount of time to get all the signs back up and get it detoured. But again, unless there is somebody that wants to volunteer their time and go through that process, we're doing all that we can to find ways to get that building tore down. I hate the inconvenience that it is for anybody. And to be honest, it's been an inconvenience for our family. As many of you know, my daughter and son-in-law lived above the Beacon of Light Cafe. They've also ran the Beacon of Light Cafe for the last, I think, 3 or 4 years. So they don't have any income out of that. They don't have a place to live any longer. Thankfully, a little over a year ago, we bought a house here in town, and it's big enough that they're able to stay with us. Also, my future son-in-law lived in one of the other buildings, and he is living with us because he can't be in there. So it's not, I understand that it's a hardship to everybody, but it's a huge loss for them as well. They've got stuff that they can't even go in the building and get at this point. So I understand your frustration because I'm just as frustrated. But until we can find somebody that is willing to come in and help, we're kind of at a standstill, to be real honest. That's about all I got. And I'll, yeah.
So we sent a letter to Freedom and Fire and you. We asked for the structural engineer report to be produced in 5 days. We have yet to see that report.
It's not yours.
Our lawyer requested it.
Yeah, I talked to Grant about that. And I sent you the information that they said, and the cause of it was structural. That's all I've gotten. If you would like a copy of the letter that says that the cause of the wall to fall was structural deterioration, I will be more than happy to get you that letter.
That's the only report that you've received.
Yes, it is at this point. I am trying, but I did not hire the structural engineer. The insurance company did. And they do not have to release that information to me if they do not choose to.
And they didn't.
And they have not at this point. I am trying to get it.
So when you guys spoke to NDOT the other day, what did NDOT have to say?
NDOT wanted an update from the property owner on what the plan was, and then NDOT asked, in lieu of the property owner having the funds, what is the town's plan? And the town informed NDOT that we too do not have the money to tear that down. Looking for grants, have looked for grants, spent hours and hours and hours trying to find grant money to help get that down. But I mean, I was recently made aware of an emergency grant that could be a possibility. But it would have to be in the town's, the town would have to own the building. So I spoke with Jeff some today, told him about that opportunity, and he said that they would consider it, look into it. But until any of that is done, we can't apply for the grant. And that would be just for demo, and it would be probably not the full amount. The town would still have to be kick some in for it. But none of that is known until we can apply for it.
So, and I'm just asking, what's the time frame we're looking at on that, Jeff?
On what?
On making a decision on turning that over to the town?
When Joni asked me that late this morning or lunchtime or whatever, I said that when my wife and I have a chance to sit down and talk about it and pray about it, then we'll move forward from there. I need to check with my attorney and stuff as well, legally, what I can do. I am still trying to go through that process of fighting the insurance company. So I got to make sure that I'm not jeopardizing any of that process as well. But it's a very real possibility that that could happen. All I'll tell you is I'll give you an answer. I don't know what today is, Thursday.
The 29th, I think.
It'll probably be sooner than that, but give me a week and I'll give you an answer.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Well, that was everything on the agenda. We're now taking patient concerns. Did anybody sign?
Got 3 of them.
Are you one of them?
So I am.
Are you first on the list?
I just love it when I walk through.
Yes, indeed. Didn't you move?
Go on property.
All right, so please come forward to speak,
Sure,
and you get 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yep.
Man, restricted. With the street cut, or with the builder, he's going off about, not being able to clean it up, clean up the money. I get it, everybody in this room gets it. But if that was on somebody, on another street, or somebody else's property, and they didn't have the money to clean it up, what would be the protocol in there?
It's the same for everybody. There are several buildings in town that fall under the unsafe building ordinance that we have in town, not just the one that is owned by Jeff. We don't have the money to tear theirs down either. So that's why that has never been pursued during our tenure. But we certainly can send letters to all property owners in town whose properties need to come down because they're deemed unsafe.
Okay, but if they got the money, then,
They ain't got the money, we ain't got the money.
so then it's just gonna be stuck.
No, we'll try, it'll be the same process. We can make an offer to them to sign it over to the town. We can't pay for it, but they can sign it over and we can search for grant money. Unfortunately, a private citizen that owns property, the grant opportunities are not great. But the town has some opportunities for grants that private citizens don't.
Okay, and nothing against Jeff. But if he does that, sign that over, you still don't get no grant money to clean it up, then what do we do?
Then we'll have to figure something else out. I mean, it's all an unknown, Kevin. Unless you have plenty of ideas.
Oh, I got several, but y'all don't like them.
I mean, when the state and the law is involved, we have to follow the rules and do what the rules are.
Stick dynamite and have a whole.
Well, I understand that, but that's against.
That might even roll.
You might work the water line doing that.
Yeah.
You might work the water line doing that.
Yeah, because you're not here. Well, we're going to your house.
I don't care, come on.
And, I mean, that's something that, I've seen the comments that if it was anybody else, I'm calling BS. I'm throwing the BS flag.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with who it is. The fact is the town doesn't have the money to do it for every building in town that would be deemed unsafe. And there are several. I look at one every day across the road from my house.
Yeah.
That the basement walls are caved in. It needs to come down. The town doesn't have the money.
Right.
And that's one of many that needs to be. We got 2 new houses in town that have been burned recently. We need to follow up on those. If their insurance doesn't pay or they didn't have insurance, we can't take on financial responsibility for every house in this town.
Right. Now, you're saying that if you just tear the building down, would that open the road back up and then give you time to get it cleaned up?
The front of the building.
Yes, as long as the front. So one of the first things that would have to happen would be the roof would have, this is what everybody that's been giving me the quotes. And like I said, the 65 was the cheapest. I had one for 112. I've had several that said they'd come and give me quotes and have yet to come and give me quotes. And I've had some that say, we don't want to even touch it. So it's not like it's an easy process to do this because of the other buildings that are attached to it. So what I understand from the ones that have told me this, the roof would have to come off first and then they would push in the front. And the state will not open that road back up if that front of the building is still up. So I would love to have been able to see the front been preserved, but what I'm telling you is the state will not allow that. The front of that building has to come down. So yes, as soon as the front can be pushed in, they'll open that road back up. But like one of the other things that we'll have to do is there's electric poles that every person that gave me a quote said the electric lines will have to come down and those poles will have to be moved because they don't want the liability of damaging them. So that means you got to call in CenterPoint to get the lines done. It's quite the process that it's not gonna. If I had somebody that told me they could do it tonight, it's not gonna start tomorrow. It's gonna take a little bit of time to get everything in place to do that. But yes, the road would be opened if the front got shoved in.
That's the biggest concern, is the front.
Correct. Yes.
That's the biggest concern for NDOT.
For someone being hurt, yes.
Yeah, there you go, Josh. We'll knock that sucker down.
Hey, just tell volunteers, I ain't got a dog in the fight.
And Matt, Matt and I talked, and when I talked to him about the state telling me what could be done and what couldn't, Matt decided he didn't want to be involved in it. And I understand that. I'd be more than happy, but when we talked to NDOT the other day, they said that they could probably have that permit done. I think they said they'd get it done in a matter of hours, but they would still have to have time to get the detours put back up. Possibly could they do it that day? Possibly. And then it could be start toward down the next day. But it's, unless you're going to work at it consistently, it's going to take a little bit of time to take down. What I've been told. I don't know how to do it. And I know that there's been volunteers to help to haul off the stuff. If we can get everything coordinated, I'm good with it.
He just told me if the liability form was signed, he would do it.
And Matt and I sat and talked for hours one day about it. And when I explained to him that the only way the process could be started was that the detour was put back up, and then the front, we can't just take off the roof. And that's what he was willing to do, was to help take off the roof. And then he didn't have the ability or the time to do anything else. But they won't allow us to just take off the roof, which most believe would take the pressure off the front. But he didn't have time to do the front. So if we could get him to take off the roof and somebody to come and do the front and start the process, then it would be good.
Your 2 minutes is up, sir. Thank you. Next on the list, Sandra McCombs.
Well, got to do with the building deal. Why is the town even thinking about having to do anything with that building when who's the owner of it and who's responsible?
It's a legal liability for the town.
Well, I understand that.
It's
but
a safety
his legal liability to take care of that building too.
Yes, that's just how government works, man. It'd be the same, the state has legal
The town
liability.
shouldn't have to be able to have to take care of it.
If you'd like to call NDOT and let them know that, I'd appreciate it, because
It's
they're the ones
the
calling
owner's
the town.
responsibility is what I've always been told.
I'm sorry?
It's owner's responsibility.
Yes, but
But town doesn't own it. He does.
not yet.
Then that's gonna cost taxpayers a lot of money.
It's no different than when the previous town board had to take over another building in town. And
No, that was on the property owner who put a lien against the property.
Exactly.
not all of them.
We did everything documented. We had people where they were put it in the court case. That was a discussion between us. And then what to do to do the process.
We can put a
Everything
lien.
else was done to do that.
We can put a lien on the property. But we still have to come up with 65 grand to tear it down, and we don't have that.
But then that would be the lien amount.
Yes, but we still have to have it up front.
So is the town gonna give notice that it is unsafe for property owner?
They have.
We have.
A legal notice, so
Yes.
that process has to.
Yes, sir. Yes, we have.
That's
You'd
what
like
I was referring to.
Yes, that was done 2 weeks ago.
I wasn't super sure of that.
Yeah.
That's
Because
what
I
I,
know when you look at that, it has to be done in very specific.
Yes, and it was done in the way that it was supposed to be done. And that's why I said, we'll start this week, Ressa, we'll work together on getting letters out to all the other properties in town that are deemed unsafe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Robert?
Okay, I've got two things, so I'll be quick.
Okay.
The first one is, snow removal to, move the snow back away from mailbox. Biggest reason I'm concerned is I've got bad children, I'm having surgery next week,
Excuse me,
and I
somebody's
can't do
talking.
it. And
Thank you.
I can't do it right now, but I've got about 8 feet of snow sitting in front of my mailbox that I can't get. And I saw somebody was driving around with a Bobcat on North Street, and they got the lady next door to me. Went and did her driveway, the mailboxes, and that was it. And I thought, okay, where's the rest of it? He just took off. I don't know whether it was privately
It would have been private.
arranged or
Yeah.
what.
It's a private deal. She probably contacted him via Facebook or
Yeah.
phone.
But is
I had a
there-
guy just stop by my house and offer to clean mine and told me the amount, and I just paid him and he cleaned it.
Yeah, was that the guy in the green John Deere?
No.
Okay, yeah.
No,
There was somebody with a green, John Deere tractor that,
no, it was
Yeah,
another
there's-
guy.
There's several.
yeah. But anyway, I just wonder if there was any plans to move some of this snow further back.
It's not the town's liability to do so. Our liability is the street.
Also, Pike has done all that, the county's
The
done all
county
that.
helped, yes. The county
Okay.
helped. We had a snowplow that went down. We had
Right.
one snowplow and it went down.
Okay.
So we did have the county, and they were very gracious and sent some people over to help get the roads cleared. But anything past the road is the homeowner's responsibility.
All right, got it. The other quick thing was that I wasn't real comfortable with when I was sitting here hearing. I kind of feel for the employees that were having their raises
Yeah.
talked about in public. I mean, every job I ever had, a number one thing is you don't discuss pay with
That's-
other people.
That's
or
in the private
employees.
sector.
Well, that to me, it seems to me like, basically that's your business. The only thing we need to know is what the budget is. As long as we're within that budget, everything's fine.
We are required to
We're
put that
required.
out.
Public
So
knowledge.
it's public knowledge. Sometimes it's even published in the newspaper for some
Yes.
For
places.
salaries too.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's.
I agree with you. I hate
Yep.
it.
You can go on right now and
Yeah.
look at all the state employees and see
Mhm.
Yeah.
exactly what they make.
The county,
School teachers.
Okay.
all the county employees, their all stuff is all put in an ad in the newspaper.
It stinks. I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I felt uncomfortable for them. I thought, ooh, I don't know. I did.
It's uncomfortable to talk about.
It is,
For us
yeah.
even.
No.
Because it's public money.
But that's all I had.
Thank you, Robert. All right, that is everybody on the list. Council, anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
And a motion on the floor,
Second.
and a second, all fair?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?